paying yourself first is valuing yourself. Hey, what's up you guys? Lukas here from xlwealth.com. In this video today, I want to talk to you about the path of your money. Now, you might be thinking, path of my money? That sounds very interesting. Yes, you got to see it like this. You know, the moment your income actually just comes in, so the moment your income, I'll just draw it like this. The moment your income comes in, what actually happens with the money? Now, there are so many people who always say, you got to pay yourself first, and that's what we're gonna do as well. The number one thing is pay yourself. That's the very first thing that you should do, paying yourself first. And it doesn't really matter how much this is, but you got to see it like this: how much do I value myself? So, you know, you have worked all month, let's just say that, you know, you're middle class and you've worked all the month, and the moment the month is over, what so many people tend to do with the money is the moment the income comes in, the first thing is what they do is they pay off their expenses. For example, the mortgage and all the needs that they need to have, for example, the groceries that they have and such. What happens all of a sudden is that the moment that at the end of the month actually comes there and you think, you know what? I've spent all the money on all the things that I had to pay for, and all of a sudden, how much money do you have left to pay yourself? In most cases, hardly any. And this is the problem, because you didn't pay yourself first. The moment you start paying yourself first, and this could even be just $100. If you pay yourself $100, let's just pretend, okay? That means you value yourself at $3 a day for the whole month that you've worked, which is totally fine. I'm not saying this is good or bad. I'm just saying if you pay yourself $100 the moment your income comes in, you can see that as a certain expense, and this $100 you can spend on, for example, on your own career, on investing on yourself, on growing even more. But this way, all of a sudden, you're not putting yourself on the last spot of the moment the money comes in. See it like this. If this is like a water tap, and I'm horrible at drawing, I know that. So let's pretend that this is a water tap, you know, and the drops comes. I am horrible at drawing. I know that. So let's just pretend that the first drop that arrives is not yours, but the last drop that might be in a tap is yours. You got to see it like this. If you always put yourself last, what if that last drop never came out of the tap? What if that happens? So this is why the first drop, I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we need 7 of those things. Because the first thing you should do always is pay yourself first. The first thing you should do is always pay yourself first. The first drop of income that comes in should always be paying yourself first. This money that you get, you can use not on things like, you know what, I'll just buy a new gaming headset because I really wanted that. Okay, that's more like guilt-free spending. That's somewhere later on. I'll get to that later on. The first drop that you should use, the first income that you get, is paying yourself, and using that money, you should develop yourself to be able to grow more money. For example, I'll just give an example. Now, I'll tell you this, in my case, it's getting knowledge on thinking in a different way. For example, having a book, you know, the book of Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and the book from Robert Kiyosaki about cash flow quadrant, but also about Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill. All those things, you know, if you get $100, you can use that, you know, and the books are like, I don't know, $10, maybe $5 for a book. And you can get, with that money, the paying yourself first, you can use that money to invest in yourself, to read a book, to grow your own knowledge on that. All of a sudden, you have money to spend on that, which is totally fine, which is great, because this way you can grow yourself as well, next to just working, you know, working in your job, in your corporate job that you, for example, have. Okay? Second thing that you should do, the moment the money comes in. Oh, sorry. The second thing you should invest in your money is in investments. In investments, because this money will grow over time. So if this is a chart, the idea is, of course, that the money grows over time. And the investments that you put in, so if this, again, this may be as little as $100, depending on how much you get in and how much you can spend. You make your own plan. So the second thing is spend your money. So the second drop is investments. You should spend the second drop of income that comes in, you got to spend it on investments, because this will grow over time, which is a great thing, okay? This is developing yourself. This is choosing for yourself, and this is, of course, growing your money over time. Because in the end, time is what everybody has at the same amount. The moment you reach 30, you've skipped the whole 20s. The moment you reach 40, you've skipped your whole 30s. Time just keeps on going on. This is why you should use time as your advantage. Over time, grow money. That's very important, okay? Number 3 that you should spend your money on the moment it comes in, of course. Number 3 is emergency. And I call it the emergency fund. Now, it doesn't have to be that you should fill up your emergency fund right away. But I would always say have around enough money that you could spend at least 1 to 3 months. If you lose your job, for example, 1 to 3 months of time to take money out of the emergency fund to get around is a great way to live, you know? So the moment, for example, this could also be a thing. The moment your car breaks down, you can just check your emergency fund, use that money there to at least pay off those things. All of a sudden, like, hey, my car broke down, I can use this money to pay for the repairs. Or your washing machine broke down. All of a sudden, hey, you can't wash your clothing anymore. You would have to do it by hand. And the thing is, you should have money lying around that you should be able to use on emergency situations. In this case, a washing machine that breaks down. So have an emergency fund that could take care of emergencies. And I would always say have somewhere between 1 to 3 months. That's a good amount that I would like to use as well in my own case. The moment something happens, I have my emergency fund. I could just reach out to that and use the money right away, okay? So the third drop should go to emergencies. So emergency fund. And put that money on maybe a short-term bank account that does give you some high yield returns, but that you could take out every moment you want to, okay? So don't put it in an investment bank like this one that you can't take out, okay? Emergency fund, put it somewhere that you can take it out so that's liquid, get it? But, you know, you do get a little bit of money the moment you leave it there for 3 months or longer, okay? Now, the fourth drop, and this is the interesting part, the fourth drop is needs. And needs are, for example, your groceries, or for example, your mortgage, all the things that you need to pay, all the needs. So as you can see, of course, needs is, in my case, number 4, the fourth drop of the income stream that comes in. So the money that comes in, needs is number 4, not number 1. It's not, absolutely not number 1. If you put it at number 1, you'll pay all the needs first, and all of a sudden everything moves up one step, and all of a sudden all the things are not important anymore because your needs are more important. But what happens if you have your income coming in and all of a sudden you do groceries and you think, hey, there's a bag of chips I need. No, you don't need it. Hey, there's some chocolate I need. No, you don't need it. I don't buy chocolate in the needs thing. I buy the groceries. I do the groceries for the needs thing. I buy all the things that I need, and I don't buy all the things that I don't need. Because that will come here later on at a later point. I'll get to that in a bit, okay? So all the things that you need to pay for every month, that will be paid in step number 4. Yes, step number 4, not step number 1. This is the mistake that so many people make. When their money comes in, they tend to pay off their needs first. Okay, let's go to number 5. Number 5, I'll write it this way because otherwise we don't have any space over here. Number 5 is short-term saving. And what do I mean with short-term savings? But for example, when you're saving up for that holiday that you kind of want to go on, which is, this year, for example, you want to go on a holiday and you want to save up for that. That costs, for example, a couple of thousand because you want to go with your family or you want to go with the two of you. And you don't really plan to use that money as an investment, but you're saving up for short-term things, or you want to buy that new car because, your car is kind of at the end of this lifespan, and, next year you're most likely is going to buy a new car, which is a great thing, short-term savings, okay? So number 5, the 5th step is short-term. So the 5th drop of your income goes to short-term. Now, number 6 is the number 6 thing that I love, is what I tend to call guilt-free spending. Yes, this is the amount of money that could also be, for example, just $100 to buy things that you really like. For example, the other day, I just bought a PlayStation 4. Why? Because, it's my guilt-free spending. Use that guilt-free money to buy things that you don't really need, but don't want to feel bad about the moment you buy it. This is not the same thing as paying yourself first. Paying yourself first is valuing yourself. If you value yourself, like I said, for $100 per month, your value per day is only $3. But the moment you learn and get more knowledge and generate more money, all of a sudden, let's pretend that it's $200. All of a sudden you can pay yourself, making that you doubled your value. Instead of having $3 per day, all of a sudden you're paying yourself $6, maybe $7 per day. And because of that, it's because you paid yourself first. You valued yourself first. That's how you can grow over time in value. And this is really something that you got to understand. Okay? And this is completely different. This is guilt-free spending. Now I'll tell you this. I bought a gaming headset, a couple of $100. Could I buy it straight away using pay yourself first and using the guilt money from that month? Absolutely. Did I do it right away? No, because my guilt-free money is a small pot. And, if a headset is, for example, $300, I would have to wait 3 months to be able to buy that headset using the guilt-free money. Why? That's I'm saving up. And, if I buy it, I feel good. But the good feeling disappears really fast because it doesn't give me any value over time. It's cool to have. Just like buying that PlayStation 4. It's cool to have. But does it make me or grow in value over time? Absolutely not. Not in my case. For some professional game players, maybe they do. But in my case, it's not. It's just guilt-free spending. I just wanted to play some cool games, and I could now. But it cost me a few months to save up that money. And I'll tell you this, saving up money for something is kind of cool. Although you have a lot of money coming in as well, it's kind of cool to just think, you know what? I'm just saving up for something. And that is the cool part, okay? So guilt-free spending, so this is guilt-free, is step number 6. You gotta see like this is drop number 6. So you've paid off so many things and all of a sudden there's some left. That's your guilt-free money. And then number 7, that's what I call the remaining money. And this is what happens so very, very often. If you don't pay yourself first, the remaining money will all of a sudden be the money that is valued to you, that is given to you. But in most cases, this is so little that you don't have any, that you don't value yourself first. But what do I do with the remaining money? This remaining amount, I'll use a different color right now. This remaining amount, in my case, always goes to investing. So the moment I have $300 remaining this month, instead of just leaving it there, letting it do nothing, I'll say, you know what? I'll invest this month $300 extra. Even if I just buy and hold, it could grow over time, just like this chart over here. And this is how I divide my spending and my income of 1 month time. I'm not saying this is the amount that I use. I'm just saying these are the 7 drops. So I forgot about remaining. These are the 7 drops how I spend my money. And I never wait and hope there's another drop left. This is how I do my calculations. And if you're interested in my calculation sheet, yes, I have one as well. I have a calculation sheet. Just reach out to me saying, hey Lucas, I'm interested. Thank you very much for this video of the 7 steps of how to spend your money and why most likely you're spending it wrong still, and why you should be paying yourself first. You should be paying yourself first. That's the first thing you should do. Pay yourself first. And this is how my spending goes. And this is how I do my spending. And this is how you should do your spending as well if you want to grow your money over time. Absolutely. Grow yourself, grow your own knowledge, and grow your wallet as well. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Of course, if you like this video, be sure to like this video and hit that like button really hard because YouTube likes that very much. And of course, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And if you want to know when a new video comes in, be sure to hit that bell icon as well, because then you'll get a message the moment a new video is uploaded. Thank you very much for watching, and I wish you best and happy investing. Bye-bye.